Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Win and welcome back to another video. So today's video is a little bit different. We're going to be just talking about New State and breaking down a lot of stuff and really discussing what's happened with the game in the last 18 months since it launched. So unfortunately, there's no gameplay, but this is an important one. So after you watch this video, let me know below in the comments what your thoughts are, what you want to see with New State, how you think the game has gone in the last 18 months, and let's just come together as a community and just kind of have an open forum, and who knows, maybe the devs will watch this, get some ideas, and really hear us with what we have to say about the game. Now, one thing I want to say, there is no right answer. Just because what I'm about to share with you today is my opinion does not mean that I know it all. I'm just going to share with you what I kind of think based on being in this industry every single day, seeing your guys' messages, seeing the data, learning about other games, and really just, I've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years. So I kind of know what I'm talking about, but I'm not perfect, and you guys have great ideas as well. So let's just get into it. I actually sat down tonight and I wrote a freaking essay, man. I haven't done that since college, and yeah, it's a long one. And I'm going to go through this because I really just poured down a lot of my thoughts, and I'm going to add a little bit to it here in this video and really walk you through what I think with New State. So I started it off by saying, quick New State essay tweet. I'm tired of arguing with people on Twitter for months about the state of the game. It's taking years off my lifespan, and that is true. I keep getting into little arguments with people and going back and forth, you know, constructive. It's never really negative, but I've been in some healthy debates that just seem to never, ever end here on Twitter, in comments, in the Discord server. Oh my God. So I just had to put it all out here before I had to go through another. Oh, dude, some people, they just don't want to listen, but it's okay. Anyway, this is what I said. The simple truth is that this game has made significant improvements over the past 18 months, including quickening the pace of gameplay, making it faster, a little bit faster animations, and toning down some of the realism in favor of some more fun gameplay that's not as punishing. And a perfect example of that is you get that one free revive if you die within the first 2 phases, right? Super realistic is like you die, you're dead. You know, you got to sit there and you're dead, right? Maybe your teammates can bring you back with a green flare gun, but that wasn't as fun. You know, a lot of people were sitting there being like, can you guys find cash? Can you go find 1,500 you know, credits, drone credits to revive me? And now they made it a little bit cheaper. Now it's only 1,000, right? Things like that have sped up the gameplay. So it's a little bit more fun. That free revive, it's a little less punishing. You know, people want to hop on and play Battle Royale, and then they don't want to sit there dead and watch their teammates run around, try to find some money on the ground. So that's a good example. However, I will say New State is still the most realistic physics and gunplay of any mobile Battle Royale game. The recoil, the graphics, the physics, it's very realistic, and I'd say it's better than all of the other mobile battle royales right now. So a little quick note here before we get into the rest of it. About a year ago, you guys know I pivoted this channel to pretty much being fully New State. It was more Wynnsanity, and it was just kind of like my leftover videos and stuff, but it didn't quite feel like a good channel. So I realized also, I'm like, all we're doing is playing New State over here. So I renamed it Wynnsanity New State, and that was about 3 months ago that I renamed the channel. I attached some pictures I'll show you guys in a second, and the following pictures show that the top search terms in the last year for this channel were PUBG New State and New State Mobile. Those were the things that people were searching the most. And you'll also see that in the last couple months, search traffic for New State is up over 400%. And I think that that's the case for my channel, which could also just be the case for YouTube in general. We're seeing that more and more and more people are searching for New State. There's more and more interest for New State, and my channel certainly benefited from that. We're seeing an over 400% increase in the last 1 or 2 months for things like PUBG New State Mobile. People are searching those 4 times more than they ever have been. So let me show you guys those exact screenshots. I searched the last 365 days, and this is what people were searching. PUBG New State Mobile, New State Wynnsanity, and Wynnsanity New State. Obviously, with Wynnsanity, I'm going to come up in that search result. But for the most part, it was truly just they were just searching the game. PUBG New State Mobile. And this is the graph. And my face is blocking it, so I'm going to hide my face. I'll just move it down here. So we have the last 365 days. Search traffic's like, it's okay, whatever. Like, it still quite wasn't doing New State, and I really went into New State around here. We had a big bump over the summer. I was playing and grinding Bounty Royale like crazy. But still, things kind of were leveled off here. But really, since the turn of the year, from 2022 into about 2023, we see this huge ramp up in search traffic. Especially when Lagna came out. We saw a big bump, and it's sustained it. It just took everything to that next level. It wasn't like Bounty Royale, which kind of was like like pop and then back down to normal. No, Lagna and whatever these couple updates here were really took the game to that next level, and it stayed that way for the last like 2 months, month or two. It's been really good. I've been very happy to see this, and this I think isn't just my content. It's not just me. It's this search traffic is indicative of how the entire YouTube ecosystem has been for New State. We're seeing an increase in search. That means the game is getting better, the game is improving, and people are more interested in New State. So remember that. That's an important point. The data don't lie, okay? The data tells a very important story. So let's go back up here and continue where we left off. I made some comments in the past suggesting that New State should be like a PUBG Mobile 2.0. And oh my God, a lot of you guys are really upset by that. You're like, how dare you? You just want to turn it into freaking PUBG Mobile all over again. That wasn't quite what I meant, but I understand if you misinterpreted that or you interpreted it in a way that made you upset. And people were upset about that. I mean, and what I meant was that it needs to become a more advanced version of PUBG, right? Better graphics, better physics, better content. It doesn't need to just copy PUBG and just become like PUBG. PUBG Mobile is very successful. PUBG Mobile is also 5 years old. PUBG Mobile's getting a little old. It's kind of the same thing over and over again. We need to take that same fresh experience, Battle Royale, jumping out of the plane, Erangel, Troy, whatever you want. A lot of people want PUBG maps to come to New State. A lot of people don't. I'm not quite sure where we land on that. We have Erangel, but we also have some new maps like Lagna, but that's kind of like Miramar. I don't know. That's a whole nother can of worms we're not going to get into. But what I'm trying to say is that New State shouldn't be exactly like PUBG, but they should take that game that's kind of 5 years old, getting a little old now. PC PUBG is now 6 years old. Take that, freshen it up, add some new stuff, and could keep it going, right? Like keep what we love about the battlegrounds, keep it going for another 5 or 6 years. And I mean, in a lot of ways, they're already doing that. We have that fun experience that we love, but they've tweaked it. We've got new guns, we've got better graphics, we've got new vehicles, new maps. They just took it to that next level. And for a perfect example of what I meant, here's why I think New State is already kind of like a PUBG Mobile 2.0. In PUBG Mobile, you can't drive through a fence. You can't drive through a hay bale. You can't drive through a little wooden shack. No, I mean, you see a little picnic table, you crash, right? You can drive through that stuff in New State. That's a more advanced mechanic. If some dude's hiding behind a hay bale, you can just drive right through that sucker, you know? You can't do that in PUBG Mobile. In PUBG Mobile, you can't bandage while driving, right? Rather basic mechanic that we all use now in New State. That is so important, right? Well, you can't do that in PUBG Mobile. You can in New State. You can bandage and you can drink an energy drink while driving. In PUBG Mobile, you can't customize your guns. I mean, you kind of can. They're starting to test that out in like Livic AI mode, but we all know they're copying it from New State. From day one in New State, you can customize your firearms. C1 SKS, C2 SKS, almost every gun you can take it to that next level. That's where it's like PUBG Mobile, PUBG 2.0. They just took what we loved about the battlegrounds and they just turned it up a notch and they made it better. And there's so many other examples of things that you could do. I mean, when you're driving a car in New State, you can like shut the engine off and slowly roll up to a compound and they won't even know you're coming, right? Like a stealthy approach. That's so dope. You cannot do that in PUBG Mobile. That's another example of 2.0. They took it to the next level. And just continuing to do that. That's the green flare gun. Also an example of why it's just a better version, right? That's just, you know, what I kind of meant when I said it should be a PUBG Mobile 2.0. So a lot of people got upset. I don't want them to literally copy it, but they can take what's good about it and make it even better and make it unique and make it cool and make it New State, right? And they're doing that. In many different ways, New State improves upon the formula of PUBG Battle Royale, but when it first launched, there were some issues. We know this, guys. We know this. We've talked about this to death. It was a little too slow, a little too hardcore. The graphics were great, but people couldn't run it on their low and mid-range phones. You had to have like the latest and greatest iPhone or iPad to be able to even run the game, right? So they've worked so hard to optimize the game, and that's where it's also improved. But people are like, I want the graphics back from the alpha. Bro, it's not gonna, you can't do that. No one could run the game, remember? So they've changed things, but they've changed it on purpose. So New State's made improvements for optimization so that a lot of people can run the game on their, you know, phones that might not be the newest phones. I get comments all the time. People are like, I get literally perfect 60 FPS on my like phone that's like 4 years old on their Android phone or whatever. Like when the game first came out, they couldn't do that. Now they can, right? So unfortunately, yeah, those graphics might have looked really good and crisp and just like PC back in the alpha, but they had to change that so that more people could play the game, you know? That's what optimization is all about. Yeah, graphics were hard to run, medium roll, and the pace was slow and punishing. Yes, so I already touched on this before. The pacing was very slow. They quickened things like from proning to sprinting animations, like rolling kind of animations, recovering, and just like making things a little bit faster because it was very slow paced and it was very punishing, which is why they added those revives if you die in the first 2 phases. So that way, if you land, drop hot, die, you're not just watching your friends run around for 20 minutes. Nobody wants to do that. So they made it a little bit more fun, right? Not too hardcore, a little bit more fun. And at the same time, I know we keep talking about PUBG Mobile, but that's literally the most similar game, you could say, in a way. PUBG Mobile is still massively successful, even though it's older, right? And it's proof that a fast-paced game that isn't really that realistic can be super, super successful. So all these people that are crying about New State needing to be crazy realistic, and we need to have inertia and slow animations and slow it down and really crazy like recoil and like they want this game to be like a military simulation. That's not quite gonna work, my friends, and PUBG Mobile is proof of that. They're adding grappling hooks and cannons and power-ups and freaking Kong crystals, and I can build an ice wall out of the ground and all this stuff. You can't do that in real life. It's completely unrealistic. But millions and millions of people love that stuff, and they continue to play PUBG Mobile. So I don't think New State needs to just start adding grappling hooks and cannons and just copying PUBG Mobile. But they can look at PUBG Mobile and be like, so there's a game that's like, you know, adding a lot of fun stuff and like doing some crazy things, and people love it. Maybe we can think about adding fun stuff and doing some crazy stuff, and people are going to like it. I mean, Big Head mode, some of you hated it, I'm not going to lie, but a lot of us liked it. It was a fun, goofy thing on April Fools. You know, fun, lighthearted, just to mess around a little bit, right? They need to start doing some things like that. Why not, you know, in the next season, let's maybe have an event mode. Maybe they add like a hot drop in the, you know, the middle of mall, or there's like some fun new items for the season, something fresh that changes every time. Kind of like how PUBG Mobile has game modes. I think that's going to be what kind of keeps people coming back and keeping it interesting. So far, a lot of the updates in New State, a lot of it's just like gun balancing. They're like, we added a customization to this gun, and well, we increased the damage of the M7 by like 3%. You know, it's like, okay, cool. But like, is that really the new, like, that's the new thing that we have for this entire month, is like some tweaks and you added kaboom mode? You know, we need something to really impact the core fundamental battle royale that we experience every single day. Because when they just keep adding new stuff like siege mode, and they keep adding new stuff like kaboom mode, that's all just like on the side. Like bounty royale is just on the side. What we want to play is battle royale. We want to jump in with our friends on 100 players on a big ass map and kill each other until there's one team standing. There isn't much each update that is actually changing that core experience. They added Lagna, and that was massive. That changed the core experience. Instead of me playing Erangel and Troy every day, now all of a sudden, I'm playing in a desert. How cool is that? That changed it, and that was huge. And you guys saw that search traffic spiked 2 months ago when Lagna came out, and it's been great ever since, right? We need things that really keep the core experience fresh. That is my opinion, but let's move on. Again, PUBG Mobile having all these crazy fun things is proof that it works, right? To further back up this point of players liking faster, more fun games, not super hardcore realistic, look at Fortnite and Apex. They're two of the most successful battle royale games right now when it comes to PC and console. And at the time that I wrote this, which was just about an hour ago, Fortnite and Apex actually had 5 times and 7 times the viewers that PC PUBG did on Twitch. Now, PC PUBG has kind of maintained a rather slower paced, realistic, more hardcore battle royale experience, while all the other games have gone a little bit crazy above and beyond shields and charging and flying and zip lines and, you know, like freaking gravity hammers in Fortnite. Like, they've gone really wild with it, right? And they're way, way more popular than PC PUBG is right now. PC PUBG is finally catching up. I think they've started to add like AED to like self-revive. They've added more like redeployable parachutes so you could jump off a building and like redeploy your parachute. They're starting to catch up with some quicker stuff, but right now, that hardcore, super more realistic BR experience that people are asking for, some people are asking for in New State, well, it's not really proving to bring in the viewership on PC because Fortnite and Apex are crushing it right now. And if we use Warzone as an example, that was also very fast-paced, slide canceling, all kinds of really quick movements, quick animations and stuff. When they changed all that from Warzone 1 to Warzone 2, so on Verdansk and Caldera, it was very fast. It was crazy. And then in Warzone 2, they slowed it down. They added all these extra animations to slow it down, reloading. Like, they took away a lot of the things that people loved about Warzone 1, and they made the game, like, not as, like, movement-based. And unfortunately, Warzone's been seeing their player counts go down and down and down as a result. So they're actually starting to revert some of those changes and go back to how it used to be in Warzone 1. And that's like a prime example of, hey, what if we slowed the game down and took away, like, a lot of these things that, you know, players use to, like, outmaneuver their enemies, and they slowed it way down. And they, like, removed a lot of, like, the plating and stuff. They made that more complex than it needed to be. They overcomplicated a lot of things, and people didn't like it. Now they switched it back. So that's another example, right? More people like fun and faster games. It's simple, especially on mobile too. We're seeing this especially on mobile. So why am I talking about all this? Well, if New State wants to continue to grow, I think it's necessary that they trend in that direction. More fun, a little less realistic, and just, again, more fun. Nobody wants to play a super hardcore realistic simulator. If you really want to play that, go play like Arena Breakout. I mean, the Arena Breakout's crazy. You could check your mag. You could put exactly 10 bullets in your mag. You could shoot somebody, kill them in 2 taps. You know, you run around, you hear the crunching of your footsteps. Like, if you want to play a super crazy realistic game, there are games out there like that, but they're also not that popular. They're not nearly as popular. Like Escape from Tarkov probably doesn't have as many viewers as Fortnite and Apex. You know what? I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to back that up. Let's go look. I was literally just looking right here. Fortnite had 18,000. PC PUBG, where was it? PC PUBG was down here with less than 4,000. Apex was up here with, where's Apex? Right here, 28,000, right? That's 7 times, almost 7 times as many viewers as PC PUBG. Let's find Escape from Tarkov. Okay, only 10,000, right? So even Tarkov has more viewers than PC PUBG right now. But again, it doesn't have as many viewers as Apex, doesn't have as many viewers as Fortnite. And those games are, you know, goofy. They're out here doing like wave dashing runner, Neon Tokyo stuff, crazy stuff in Fortnite now. And that has a ton of viewers. Anyway, yeah, so if they want to continue to grow, I think they do need to trend a little bit more towards a little bit more fun, a little bit more, you know, enjoyable, like might not be the most realistic stuff. I'm not saying New State needs to go crazy with Fortnite and add zip lines and hammers and bouncy balls and, you know, like rocket launcher tower. Like, no, it doesn't need to be like that. But again, something fun. I think they need to just add like hot drops into the map, like how PUBG Mobile does. I know that that kind of sounds like copying PUBG Mobile. Add unique points of interest. That's not just a PUBG Mobile thing. A lot of games do that. They add new spots that's like, hey, what's that? That's new. Let's jump there. Fortnite does it all the time. They're constantly redesigning their map. Tilted towers. They've added, like, I don't play Fortnite, I don't know, Tomato Town, like all these different places that are unique and they keep it fresh, right? That's what PUBG Mobile is also accomplishing by doing like a football carnival during the World Cup, a martial arts mode during like, what was it, like Chinese New Year? They just add different stuff to keep it fresh. So, unfortunately, the small group of players who have been playing it since the alpha, the people that have been playing New State this entire time, when the game was too realistic, it was really slow paced. I mean, the people that liked that, they've been playing the game all the way since the beginning. So the people that currently play New State, some of these changes have kind of made them upset. But the point is that the 90% of players that don't play New State right now, that don't like that stuff, if we want to get them to join, we have to start making the game a little bit more like the playstyle that they want. So, you know, as I said, the small group of people who've been playing since the alpha, they want the game to remain ultra realistic and slow paced and hardcore. They need to realize that if New State wants to grow and attract billions of gamers that play these other games that never left PUBG Mobile because they like that kind of stuff, they're not going to get that experience in New State if New State doesn't start to add it, right? This game cannot just continue to cater to the 100 people that just sit in the New State mobile Discord and argue all day, right? Some people, they're like, oh, we did a poll in the New State Discord. Everybody wants, you know, this change. We have to realize, who are the guys that are in the New State Discord? They're the most hardcore, dedicated New State players that just sit in there all day and they just play New State and they just want it to remain a certain way. All the people that are going to provide fresh ideas and maybe disagree with the Discord server, they're not in the server. You know what I mean? It's like going into a steakhouse and asking, hey, does anybody in here like steak? Of course, they're all going to say yes, right? If you want to see who likes other types of food, you got to go out in the world and go to other places too. So anyway, in conclusion, as the data supports, people just like faster, more fun, less realistic gameplays. That's why Fortnite and Apex have so many viewers. It's why PUBG Mobile has 1 billion downloads. It's not the most realistic thing in the world. And yeah, we all know PUBG Mobile, it's not like PC PUBG anymore. It's totally different. New State is actually a lot more like PC PUBG than PUBG Mobile is. But if we look at all these other games that are very successful, New State could definitely learn a thing or two. And they have been. They've been making really good improvements. And they've been starting to change the game to be more accommodating to the wider mobile audience, not just the hardcore goobers in the Discord server, you know? And New State has trended in this direction since launch. And at large, the community has responded positively to it. The data supports it. I did a poll on this channel yesterday, and I asked you guys if you think the game's gotten better or worse since launch, and the overwhelming majority of you, nearly 70%, said that you think the game is better. So, to the 1 or 2 people constantly chirping in my mentions saying, oh, the game is worse now. Wynnsanity, you're ruining New State. You don't know what you're talking about. Hey, man, listen. All I'm saying is the data supports it. More and more people are searching New State. Given the changes that this game has made, more and more people are able to run the game on their phones, given the changes that the game has made with optimizations and being more accessible to low-end devices. So yes, the graphics may have changed, but that's because they need it to be able to run on more phones, on all Apples, on all Androids, right? There were also complaints. Don't forget, they listen to the community. A lot of us said, it's really hard for me to see enemies. It's really hard. There's a lot of eye strain. The graphics are tough on the eyes. So they changed it. They made it better. It's easier to spot enemies now. A lot of people, one of the most random sticking points, and let me see if I can find this. This is going to be a random one. I know this state guy's been posting a lot about this stuff. So this is one thing that everyone's talking about, and they really want it to go back to how the red dot used to look. Like it looks just like in PC PUBG. Well, it's not going to go back to that. The reason that they changed this, so when you zoom in with a red dot and when you zoom in with a Viper sight, and it actually zooms in a little bit. The reason that it changed is because, well, on PC PUBG, everyone's playing on a big 20-inch monitor. It's easy to see enemies. You don't need to zoom in all that much. On mobile, people are playing on a 5-6-inch phone. It's so hard to see. You need a little bit more magnification. So that was a change they made because of this mobile platform that we're playing on. So people are so concerned with how the game used to be in the alpha, but you have to understand, they have made changes on purpose in order to improve the game. They have all this data. They can see millions and millions of data points on what people are playing the game, how many people are downloading it, how many people are leaving 1-star reviews, 5-star reviews, how many people downloaded it and quit, how many people downloaded it, quit, and then came back 8 months later. Like, they can see everything. And they are taking all of that information and they are improving the game. Just because your opinion might differ from what the devs are doing, I'm sorry, not everyone can be happy, but they're trying to just do what they can to make this game as enjoyable for as many people as possible. And not everyone is a super hardcore competitive player. There are a lot of casuals out there, and these are some changes that they're making to improve the game for as many people as possible. So anyway, that is the end of my very long-winded rant. I hope you guys will definitely leave your thoughts below if you made it this far into my video. But yeah, that was my super long essay, and it's definitely sparked a lot of replies. So I'm going to go through these here on my tweet. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because you can't say that this community isn't passionate. Everybody's always arguing about whether or not New State is good, bad, what should they do, shouldn't they do. I've never seen a mobile gaming community talk this much about what the devs are doing. I mean, if you're watching this and you're a dev, bless your heart, Godspeed, because you have a lot of supporters out there, you have a lot of critics out there. It seems like the stakes are very high, but just keep doing your best. We appreciate all the effort, and I think this game has come leaps and bounds from where it was when it began. A lot of games improve over the years, and New State is no different. It's been really exciting to see where this game has gone. And yeah, you can't say this community isn't passionate. So this was my thoughts. Let me know below if you agree or disagree. But hopefully this just helps continue the conversation in a good direction. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.